Hi everyone, my name is Sankey and today I'm going to be talking and saying a few words about Hohner's new harmonica they've released called the Thunderbird, the Hohner Thunderbird. Now recently there's been some great innovations within the harmonica community and instrument manufacturers. I've talked a bit about Brendan Power's tuning called the Power Bender, which I'm a huge fan of, and Hohner have now released another very interesting harmonica. Now the Hohner Thunderbird, it just looks like a normal diatonic. Here is a crossover, and that has a bamboo comb, which again is very interesting. And the Thunderbird also has a bamboo comb. I suppose it's part of the crossover range. But what the Thunderbird is a low harmonica, low tuned harmonica. So it's still standard tune, but its pitch is much lower. So in normal harmonicas you get down to sort of low F. Once you go below that, sort of low harmonicas can suffer from several problems in terms of buzz and rattles with the reed. So the lower the tone of the harmonica, the lower the pitch of the instrument, the longer the reeds, and when the reeds get to a certain length, if you're blowing and drawing, they can actually hit the cover plate and cause a rattle and a buzz. And the Hohner Thunderbird uses a really interesting cover plate design, which is very subtle but very clever, which is developed by the wonderful Joe Filisko, to sort of eliminate this problem. So they run from low F down to super low F. There's these 9 keys, and they really do offer some sort of interesting sounds, and it's a sound that's popularised by Sonny Boy Williamson II on the song Bye Bye Blackbird, and that was used on a low C. So you can imagine going down from all the way down to low G and then down to low F. It's a very low tuning. So what does it sound like? So this is an A crossover and a chord down at the draw 1, 2, 3. So the Thunderbird, which is a low A, sounds like this. So it's a really fun and different sound, still familiar, but it's just has a kind of creamy, warm, Hammond organy, fat, massive sort of potential. And it's a lot of fun to use. So what's really important to say about this harmonica is I found it straight out of the box to be in tune. Now I keep sort of drawing attention to this when I talk about harmonicas. I recently uploaded a video about a beginner's guide to what harmonica to buy. And really, what do you want? What is fundamental to any musical instrument that you buy or use? It needs to be in tune, and it's so frustrating when you buy a harmonica and it's out of tune. So Hohner's really upped its game, I feel, in the last few years, and I know that's something that has put people off traditionally, that you have to seemingly buy sort of 5 or 6 before you can find a good one. But they've really sort of made good steps, and I found the Thunderbird out of the box was in tune. All the octaves were there. So that's the first thing. So it's in tune. So that's not a reason not to try it. So they seem to have ticked that box. The other thing is it's very, very responsive, surprisingly responsive for a low key. So this is an A, and even when you blow and draw a chord, you can you don't feel it on your lips so much, but you can almost feel it after you take the harmonica out, and you can feel it on your fingers. You know, if you have, so you can hear the reeds moving afterwards, and so it's very, very responsive. And another great way to demonstrate that is with this a head roll move. Every note is sounding there. For a low A, that's pretty impressive. What kind of things can you play on it? Well, you can use it in all the standard positions, first, cross, third, and beyond if you're able to do that. And again, you can produce some really cool rhythms and chords. So kind of So it's a really nice, warm, fun sound to incorporate, and can be sort of uplifting and also dark at the same time. A great rhythm instrument. So really interesting sound, a lot of fun, as I've said before. So what's clever about this harmonica, apart from having basic things in place, that it's in tune and it's responsive, is that it eliminates the reed buzz that I was mentioning at the top of the video, where the reed actually can hit the cover plate. And what Joe has developed is this clever cover plate design where actually when you first sort of look at it, it doesn't really look that much different, but there's a conical shape to the top cover plate, which means as you get towards this end, it's actually slightly higher, and it's not that noticeable from some angles, and it is from others. But that's what the key to this elimination of reed buzz is, and apparently it was quite hard to sort of manufacture. But that extra height eliminates the reed buzz, which is fantastic. Now, another upside of trying to play with this instrument is it really does force you to think about the way that you bend. Now, everything I was playing a moment ago is tongue blocked. If you lip purse, then obviously the instrument is still all good, it's just a different technique. But when you tongue block, you have to use your throat a lot more in order to produce the bends. I still use my lips, and the embouchure of the tongue is all important, but a lot of the power comes from the throat. So using this harmonica really does make you think about where that is focused. It's almost worth buying like a set of weights to kind of work on your bends, particularly if you're a tongue blocker. So getting these kind of that's tongue blocked, and you really have to think about the power of using the throat with the embouchure. So well worth picking up just to think about that. And same on the draw 4, So it's not going to give you the same volume and attack that you can on a higher register harp like a normal A. But it's kind of smoother and richer. It's more of an attitude, different attitude. So great for practicing your bends. So something I've been working on over the last few years is using tongue blocking in the high register, which is actually quite tricky. I certainly find it quite tricky. And using the Thunderbird, trying to incorporate tongue blocking in the high register, I've had this for a couple of weeks, and I found it really useful because again, it makes you think about the way that you're bending. That's all tongue blocked. So you may find it useful to also work on your bending as well as having fun with the sound that it gives you. So in summary, I think this is a really excellent harmonica from Hohner, and it's in tune, which is table stakes these days. These instruments are not cheap. I think they retail about 70 euros. $100 and something, $120. So you expect it to be in tune, and it is. And the bamboo comb works very well, like on the crossover, which I like very much. And it's very, very responsive. So you can sort of hop and skip around it, just like on a standard tuned higher harmonica. So all of those kind of playability factors are in place. So it's a really great instrument, and also can help you work on your bending, as I've just said. So Hohner Thunderbird, well done Hohner, and well done to Howard Levy, Steve Baker, who's led the project, and Joe Filisko for sort of helping make these wonderful instruments what they are, and thanks to Hohner for listening to some expert players, which is brilliant to see. Hope you found that useful, and thank you very much.